What up, boys? Y'all chilling? What do you think of the watermark system? I think it's got some problems whenever it comes to accessories, because they're just so much more rare fundamentally. So if there's a watermark for every single individual item slot and the type of item, it seems like rings and amulets and stuff will take much longer for no real reason. So that's kind of the main concern I have. Other than that, I mean, yeah, it's whatever. Fancy shell. Oh, good. Well, Halo? Yeah, I heard about Halo Infinite. I've got a number of people that are happy about that. OTK Magician blew your mind. Yeah, I love Magic. I've watched pretty much every single episode of Penn and Teller's Fool Us on YouTube. A bunch of David Blaine videos and everything. So getting to see that in person was really cool for me. Chris Angel? I don't know. Like, I always heard like bad stuff about him, like, I don't know, 15 years ago. So I never really knew what to think. But I like, personally, I'm fine with it. It's whatever to me. Let's see, less threat. That's garbage. Okay, get rid of that. That's a pretty good one. Intelligence, just what I want on a rapier. Let's see, intelligence. That's gone. 529. Look at that. That's good. Kite shield. This is actually pretty good right there. Intelligence, that's garbage. Let's see, which one's better? This one's better. This is a good gun right here. 524. Let's see what we got here. 530 luck pants. That's actually really good. Yeah, we've been farming, man. In-game dungeons, yeah, we're gonna do. We did Genesis earlier today. Thinking about maybe running that again if we get some of the boys. Patch notes, mostly bug fixes. Yeah, they nerfed that boar spawning spot that I found, which is like not really a surprise at all. That'd be better. Come back to Orza. Yeah. I actually looked up today to see whenever the that car event ends. But yeah, I do plan on coming back soon. Are you releasing a video on your media tour tomorrow? I mean, I guess it's so close. I can just say, yeah, I am. Did you do double Bertha Warzone duos with me? You can run people over. We actually did trios with that one time with like a couple of friends of mine. That shit was fucking funny, dude. I don't know if I'll do it again. We just talked about it today. Yeah. I'm having a hard time even getting a hit in. It's funny, like the last two I missed, but like whenever I wasn't streaming, I hit every single one. I don't know what happened. Dude, like after we figured out this this stagger thing, bro, like we're abusing the fuck out of this. It's like if the boss has a stagger bar, it's easy. What do you think of the OTK drama about the house owners? I don't know. I mean, every event, good or bad, that we do, I always say it needs to be a learning experience. And I think that the last one, the last event we did yesterday was definitely a learning experience. Sometimes we try to do like a lot of production and like do some things maybe we're not like really quite as comfortable with, but we think it could be nice. It could be fun, but you know, I think we did kind of miss the mark with that a little bit. It's unfortunate, but as I said, it's a learning experience. Last VOD had too many blanks. Yeah, I rewatched the whole VOD today. Yeah, I saw how bad it was. It's not good. Yeah, I think it was awesome to watch it. No idea it was gonna be on. Basically gonna watch you, but it made my day. Well, I'm glad that you feel that way. It was on Mizkif stream? Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think that like, I mean, I had a, like, I don't know, 2-hour conversation with like some of the guys about it the other day, but we need to really go back and, I don't know, it's kind of like, we got to go back and figure out some of the way that we're going to handle that stuff. What didn't you like about it? I think that we were, the things that I didn't like about the stream was the fact that like the quality and like the video quality was problematic. And so like people would, they would, like the video was shuddering. There were times whenever clips were being played with no audio. A couple of other things that were problematic, but like everybody that came to the event, like I think that the personal, like the actual like individuals, like the content there was really good. It's just that the way that we the delivery of it could have been a lot better. That's basically it. Didn't even notice, kind of distracted me. Yeah, I think a lot of people were completely fine with it. They're like, yeah, it's whatever, right? But, you know, from like our perspective, it's something that we always try to improve. And I think that we actually learned a lot from this last event. And I think that honestly, like I don't want to say I'm glad that it happened because it was problematic from a production standpoint, but in a way I am, because I think that what we learned from it, we're going to be able to use to grow a lot more. So I think that it's good that it happened, even though it's going to be bad in the short term. Like I always look at anything like that. It's like if you lose, you only really lose if you, and this is like not entirely true, right? Like losing is losing, but like, I think that really losing is whenever you fail or you do something wrong and you don't learn from it. And I think that we did learn from this, and so that's why I'm glad that it's happening. People mad about the cake? No, only I was mad about the cake. I was actually mad at Miska for that cake. I was legitimately upset. Because it didn't that did not have to happen. Like, he did not have to do that with the cake. And then, on top of that, they threw it away. And it was like, yeah, it was on the ground, but like, I'd have eaten it off the ground. Like, that's a clean house. It's probably fine. And, it's a wooden floor. It's not like it's carpet. Like, if it's carpet, you get like hair in your mouth. Because like, we have carpet here, so I know that. So like, we could have eaten it. I could have eaten the whole thing. It was good cake, man. I was fucking pissed about that. Yeah, I was unironically upset. companies will watch that and I want to work with you or what? No, I don't think it really matters that much in terms of like from like a business standpoint. It's just unfortunate what happened. And again, like all I said before is like every event like this, every time that something doesn't go well, that's just a way that we can look at it on how to make it go better next time. With my loot. My loot. Dog's just game. Call me old head, but I don't like food being wasted. Well, it's not. I mean, like, what do you mean wasted? It's a cake. I don't know. I don't like. I don't care about people. Like, people buy food. It's their food. They do whatever they want with it, right? I don't know. I've just like never even understood like. It sounds weird to me, but I never really understood the idea of like people being upset about other people wasting food, because like it's their food. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't. I've never understood that. Okay. There we go. We literally got banned doing this. My entire week got a week just doing this now. If Amazon's gonna ban me for farming a rare spawn, they're doing me a favor, because that means I can just go play Final Fantasy. If they're gonna actually ban people for this kind of behavior, then yeah, I'll just quit the game. Who cares? Doesn't matter to me. Well, it does matter. I don't want it to happen. But I'm not going to not do it. There's nothing abusive about this behavior. If anything, it's a good aspect of the game. If they don't want people doing this, make the game better, or just make it not possible to get up here or go down there or whatever, right? That's how you do it. It's like, it's a matter of like the significance of a suspension, or of an exploit, right? So like, for example, if we were killing this one NPC right here and it respawned every 10 seconds and it was just dropping gear for us, it's level 60, then yeah, that's probably an exploit. Like, yeah, I would say so. But this NPC is respawning like every 3 to 5 minutes, like a lot of other NPCs do. And on top of that, the NPC down there respawns every 3 to 5 minutes. So, they said the same thing about bear spawn location and boar spawn location. All of them can be considered exploits. Well, I exploited the boar spawn location. They're not banning me. As I said, if they ban me for something like that, I'm going to make a video about it. It's their fault. Well, I think that like you can make an argument that like people that are exploiting something that is really, really, really good in the game, like something like where like an actual like clear exploit. This is not. There's no exploit that's occurring here because there's no subversion of game mechanics. There's no mechanic here that's being abused. There's nothing that's being taken advantage of. We're just killing an NPC. Was farming a hyperspawn an exploit? Well, it's not, and like, I think that a lot of the people that got banned for doing stuff like that probably might have been doing other stuff too. I don't really know. Like, I remember, like, from Classic WoW, there were a lot of people that were, like, crying foul, like, I can't believe I got banned for nothing, and then it turns out, like, that wasn't the case, and so I'm very skeptical of people that say, oh, I just got banned for nothing, and it's also, like, ban appeals on my stream, right? Like, I've seen this happen many times where somebody will submit a ban appeal, and, what do you call it? And then you look at what they said, oh, I got banned for no reason, and they're like telling somebody in chat to kill themselves or like something crazy, right? So it's very common that people say that, and like if you're gonna make a post on Reddit and complain about it, it's not like you're gonna say, oh wow, well I was being toxic, I got banned, because most of the people that are on there, they have like the awareness to know that like that won't be sympathetic, or people won't be sympathetic to that, so they oh, come on. There we go. So they'll make up a story that makes themselves look good and innocent. Have you found petrified wood? I don't think so. You think the unlimited abilities make PvE bosses boring? Yeah, I think there's some problems with the PvE bosses for sure. We'll go through and do some of the dungeons today, and you guys can take a look at it. Boss got stronger and stronger each time you kill it. They could drop more and better loot. Area reminds me of Shadowfang Keep. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that a little bit. Yeah, it's a nice, like, they got some pretty badass zones in here, honestly. Like, I love some of the zones in this game. What were you and the Botez sisters chatting about in the OTK anniversary? Just about how annoying my chat is with shippers. And how, like, basically anytime that I'm even, like, seen on camera talking to a girl, people, like, screenshot it and talk about it all day. Yeah. We ship you and Rich too? Yeah, I know that. Is there a good reason to have high weaponsmithing? For me there is, because I got a special item. It's a like a broken sword hilt, and I can redeem it for a legendary. And I have to actually craft it myself because it's BOP and it's a 600 item level legendary. And I'm going to start getting the materials together. I've been leveling my mining. My mining's over level 150 now. I'll probably level more of it today. No, I haven't collected the other pieces. I'm going to start collecting them soon. I'm hoping that I can buy some of them too. Battered hilt sounds like it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's just like a crafting version of it. Shroud recycling spears and axes and a loop for materials. Yeah. Well, you can't spears, because spears give you engineering skill. Axes give you well, hatchets give you engineering skill, and two-handed axes give you what do you call it? What am I thinking? Two-handed axes give you weaponsmithing skill. Yeah. I'm gonna have to try this one. I think. I don't know. I don't know where I am. What tank guy get it? Yeah, maybe you did. Come on, New World, hype you over. I think it's already kind of over. Like, the game has a healthy population for sure, but it's definitely not as popular as it was in the first week. What's the Steam numbers for the game now? I think that'll give you a good idea of like what the hype is for it. 500 and 400k at the moment. Like until it goes under, like I'd say 300. That's actually really good. 350. What's the 24-hour peak though? Well, I get. Oh, I got this one again. 509. It's decent. What was my last one? Ah, fuck, dude. It got downgraded. $600k peak. That's still really good. To maintain, what would that be? 75% of your audience in a game, 2 weeks after release. I would say that's a huge success. Like that is a massive success in my opinion. Classic WoW didn't have half that. I'd be surprised if Classic WoW didn't have 5 times that, or 2 or 3 times that realistically. I think Classic WoW had probably had over 2 or 3 million people playing on the first day. Percent. Yeah, I care. Oh, you mean he's saying percentage? Yeah, I think so. Like, how many people? Like, I think a better example, like Classic WoW is like Classic WoW is a masterpiece, right? It always will be. You know, you can say whatever you want about the game nowadays, but for its time, Classic WoW was just it's like Halo 2. You know, it just completely. It was like a paradigm shift. And, yeah, it was huge back in 2004. Yeah, both games actually came out in 2004. Didn't both games actually come out in November of 2004? Because Halo 2 was, what, November 7th? And then World of Warcraft was November 23rd. They stole 9% of ideas from other games, though, like EverQuest. Smart. You don't always need to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes you just need to build a better wheel. November 9th, yeah. That was a good day, man. 2004, 2008 was an incredible time for games. Send me back. Feels bad, man. I think that there's some really good games that have come out recently, too. You know, we've had some great games. You look at the past 5 years for gaming. We had Witcher 3. We've had Hades. We've had classic World of Warcraft. I don't know if that really counts. I guess, you know what, it probably doesn't count. We had Legion. I think Legion was a great game. We had Breath of the Wild, New World. I don't know about New World yet. Dark Souls. No, we had Sekiro. We had Sekiro and Bloodborne in like the last 5 years. Doom Eternal, Fortnite. We had Valorant too. Valorant's great. Just barely tagged that one. Ancient armor plates. Let's actually look at some of these. Oh, fuck, he's got big health. Let's see. Yeah, we had Apex Legends. That was really good. Witcher 3 was 6.5 years actually. Wow, that's crazy. Where did the time go? Red Dead Redemption 2 maybe. That was a really popular game. Valheim. Oh, Warzone 2. Like, yeah. It's like whenever you really actually look at games nowadays, like there's been a lot of really great games, man. And it's not like it's just, oh, all the games now are bad. I think that there's so many good games. Monster World? Yeah, I've never really played that, so I can't say for myself, but I'm sure, I know a lot of people really like the game. Crazy over there. Ghost of Tsushima? You really think Ghost of Tsushima is that good of a game? Actually, I didn't know that. I thought it was just like more kind of, yes. I never heard it was that good. Lost my firing right now. This guy right here, the Siren's Brute, and then the Siren's Caller up there. We rotated around. Chance to fire event, it ends on Monday. Yeah, it's 1 week from today, right? I should be able to do it. Is the volume too high? Because yeah, if it's too high, I can just turn it down a little bit. I'll turn it down to like maybe... Yeah, it is. Okay, I'll turn down the sound effects a little bit. Yeah, I think it's the sound effects that really just kind of get too much. But yeah, anyway, how fast is the last thing on my mind? Oh, it's not. I think people, there's like this weird thing that's been going on with some of my viewers where, it's like they either really want to pressure me to talk about the game or not. Like, it's just, to me, it's just a fun game that I like doing, you know? Like, it's nothing really super crazy or anything to me. Sound effects, let's take this down to like 40 or 30. I'll take it to 40, we'll see how that goes. Ambient effects, that's good. Vocals, take this to like maybe 25. Music volume, I like music. Okay, that's good. Hopefully that'll help. We have a lot of innovation or new experiences in games now. So, Nippon, I think that if you went back and you looked at all the games in 2001 to 2009, you would see that a lot of those games were actually derivative from the games in the 90s. And if you looked at the games in the 90s, you would see that a lot of them were derivative from, you know, early Atari games. Like World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft was derivative of EverQuest. I think that's a good example. Let's see what else. Like, it depends on like really how you look at things, right? Because its derivative was all the way down. Yeah, something like that. Games are an evolution. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Gauntlet Legends. Yeah, Gauntlet Legends and Gauntlet Dark Legacy. Gauntlet Dark Legacy was Gauntlet Legends with like more items. Gauntlet Legends was basically Gauntlet, but within 64 graphics. And then you go back to Gauntlet, which came out in like 1980 or something like that. Certain games are influencers, like Ocarina of Time. You're very right about that. Ocarina of Time, like, I remember whenever it came out, I think a lot of people don't really respect like how innovative Ocarina of Time was for whenever it came out. It came out in the 90s, and like that was like one of the first 3D games that we really ever had, besides like Super Mario 64 and a few other things. Ooh, Perpy Boy. Come here, bitch. The thing about BDO. I played BDO on release, on North American release, and I got up to, I was actually like really hardcore on BDO. Like, I played the game like 14 hours a day, every single day, and I got up to level 55 whenever level 55 was like the, like I was in like the leaderboard. You know how they had like leaderboards for like, I think it was called growth, and that was like your character level? Like every time I would log on, I'd be in the leaderboards for like character level. Big Dick Online? It was for me. Yeah, I was like super serious. There was like this place with these cultists that like we would farm, and then we would use the unstuck feature to go back to town to sell all of our stuff. White Monster? Yeah, something like that. I forgot what it was called. Class that I played? What class do you think I played? How's that even a question? Were you playing that with Bogey? So Bogey, so Mick Reevy is a real life friend of mine. That's the other Zack. Whenever I'm talking about Zack, like me and Zack doing stuff together, it wasn't third person. It's actually him, Mick Reevy in chat. Bogey's like a real life friend of ours. And like, yeah, actually like, so I got into the game and like Bogey hits me up and it turns out that like Bogey's on the same server as me and Bogey's in this guild called Gravity. And I looked this guild up and it's like just the best guild basically on the server. And it was on, I think it was called Eden or something like that. It was a server. Yeah, it was a really, really serious fucking guild. And I remember they had like raid times and everything. And anyway, so I messaged Bogey, or he messaged me that I was playing a game. And I'm like, yo, do you think you can get me into the guild? He's like, you played Eden then? Yeah. And so I'm like, do you think you can get me into the guild? And he's like, not unless you're 54. And I'm like, 54? Are you kidding me? What the fuck, right? Because like 54 was, like there was probably only like, I don't know, like 30 people on the server that were 54 at that time. And I was like, okay, I can do that. And so I just farm. Akari feeds took over at Man Up though. I have no idea. Like I quit. I remember there was like this Sausan, like these guys that you would farm and they would be, I don't know, they were like almost like Ottoman Empire troops kind of. And we would fight them and they were all in like a big line kind of. And then we would just rotate and kill them over and over and over. Salsons? Yeah, Salsons, that's what it was. And I quit right about whenever that came out. And the reason why I quit is because I wanted to be in the best guild and I got into Gravity. And was making friends in there and, you know, it was great. And then I went to a few of their like siege practice events and everything. And I felt like I couldn't really meet all of the times that they had and like all the requirements they had in the guild because I was just so busy with like raiding and WoW too at the same time. So I quit the game because I'd rather not play than play and be shitty. So I was like, if I'm not in the best guild, there's no reason to play this game. Like I didn't want to go casual. Like I was like, I'm either going to go super hardcore or I'm going to quit. Just a few 60s on my server. I can't even do any game content. They're opening up transfers really, really soon, dude. Barely tagged that one. Yeah, it didn't even matter because I didn't go loot. Oh fuck, this one's got more health. Some trash mobs. I'll just deal with this guy, I guess. Then game enhancement, trying to hit Tet and Pen. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't play the game enough to get to that point. Because I looked at that and I thought it was like the least fun thing ever. I remember the first time I tried to combine two jewelry pieces and then it deleted them. And I was like really close to quitting the game whenever that happened and I realized what could happen to my gear. Because like, I had wanted to get like an ogre ring and start using that too. But I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, so if I have to get like a fucking, a 3 or a 4 ogre ring, like that's gonna be like how much, $1 million gold? Like, you crazy. And yeah, I just didn't want to deal with it, man. I always got a second boost before I rolled. Yeah, I think a lot of people would, but like knowing me, like I would always be like, okay, fuck it, let's just do it, you know? Let's do it live. I think it had a lot of like, BDO in my opinion has the best MMO combat of pretty much any MMO. A lot of the other stuff, like the life skills and everything, I didn't really play enough of the game to really have an opinion on it. It's hard for me to really remember, but one thing I really like about MMOs, this is something I liked about New World too, is that you get to play a new MMO and you'll get to interact with like new people and meet new people and have those new experiences and the new adventures. And I think that's really kind of what is the most exciting thing about the game, not necessarily even the content for me personally. Let's see what we've got. Intelligence, that's pretty good, probably sell that. That's not that good. 533, it's almost good. 509, I'm just gonna vendor that. 524, not too good. I don't know if the luck gear is really gonna sell at all. 530 could sell though. It's hard to say. Intelligence and focus, maybe this will sell. No, it's heavy, it's probably not gonna sell. Let's see. What about weapons? 508, 506, 514, 516, 520. I don't know about that. No. No, no. Nope. Yeah, nothing really that great here. This is a 525 gun. I mean, that's pretty decent. He was like wearing heavy armor with focus bow on? Really? I didn't know that. I thought they'd want light armor too. Missing a honeymoon phase? Yeah, I think, well, it's not really the it's the honeymoon phase, right? And like, that's not really a bad thing, I don't think. Like, the honeymoon phase, like, the implication of it is that it's like a bad thing. But no, it was actually really great. It's always really fun. That's what I tell people about like every new MMO. Like, I'll play every new MMO at the beginning just to have that experience. I think one thing about BDO is at least whenever I go back and I look at my experience playing it, I feel like the graphics in the game aren't nearly as good as I remember them. Maybe I can find some of my old screenshots from BDO too. What's up, Panther? Hopefully I'll be able to transfer soon. What did I think about WildStar? I never really played WildStar. Like, I remember I played it once for like a sponsored video, and that was about it. Like, the game seems okay, but like, I don't really care that much about it. Oh, I the heavy there. Oh, I've got aggro. Okay. Oh no, Cog Tank is back. That's good. Hoping Ashes is up to his expectations. I can guarantee you that Ashes won't, because people have created unrealistic expectations for the game. It's just so dumb. Like, why can't I not hit the boss? Yeah, it's not the team's fault. It's because people have like such high expectations for it that it's like impossible for like any game to meet those expectations. Same as like classic WoW. Yeah, people have like people have huge expectations for the game. When I played of it looked fine, right? Especially for like an early game. But it just depends on what happens afterwards. Devs talked it up a lot, to be fair. Well, I think everybody did. And like every developer talks up their game. Nothing really special there. Oops. This might be an L. I always struggle trying to get this one up here. There we go. Yeah, doing the jump over to this area is really annoying. Endwalker's being way too overhyped. It'll be short-lived. I think Endwalker will be really fun for a while, like for sure. What's the purpose of this farming route? So basically the reason why we're doing this farming route is because this farming route allows us to maximize what we're killing. So basically what we're doing is we have 2 rare spawns that are named. So every named rare spawn has a higher than average chance to drop good gear. So what we're doing here is because both of the rare spawns spawn inside of the event of the door opening, the door opening individual up here, and then also the big guy down below. What we're doing is we're waiting for this person to spawn. They spawn at the same time, so we can jump down and kill one then the other. It makes it very efficient, and it allows us to farm the most gear. Endwalker is the end of the current Final Fantasy story. Nothing over dull. I think a lot of people are excited about the game, and that's good to me. Yeah, I mean, I would recommend, I'd recommend New World and Endwalker, to be honest with you. I think they're both really fun. The truth is, like, New World is a great game because it's a one-time payment. So if the game gets better in 2 years, you can go back, or 6 months, you can go back and play it then. You're not obligated to have to pay every single month like World of Warcraft or like Final Fantasy. So I think that's a big good thing about the game. And then also with Final Fantasy, I think they just have, you know, 8 years of content, and they just have so much cool stuff that you can do. I expect them to do paid expansions though. It'll be very hard for them to do paid expansions, to be honest with you. Is he attacking me? Yeah, he is. It's like you're stroking. I'm 551. I have a 580 shield too. I think we're about 1 or 2 days away from replacing some of my higher tier gear. My 535s. There's a helmet version that drops in this boss. It's an upgrade. Although the oh, stupid of me. Will I play Jump King again? No, not really. I might play it again myself, you know, just if I was bored one day. But I usually just don't like games that have reverse progression. Like anytime that I feel like I'm going backwards in a game, I lose interest very fast. Because I feel like my time's being wasted. I'm gonna put on my sword for this. Time's being wasted. I don't know, like, I mean, have you ever had like a time in a game where you feel like you've wasted your time playing it, right? Like even inside the context of the game. Like I have. I know it's like kind of the way that I feel about some like WoW systems. Like, yeah, all the time in WoW. Yeah, exactly. And so like, I don't think it's really fair to say like, oh well, just because video games are fundamentally a waste of time, there's like no spectrum of time wasting within video games. I think there absolutely is. It's not a waste of time if you're having fun. Yeah, it's a good way to look at it. That's definitely true. But that's the thing, is like just the nature of having to do the same thing over and over and over makes me not have fun. What gears this guy dropped that's so good? He doesn't drop any good gear, actually. It's not about his gear. So, I guess in order for me to explain why we're doing this, I'll have to explain the way that the gearing system in New World works. So the way the gearing system in New World works is basically it gives you, there's like your item level, and what you do is you loot different pieces of gear that will increase your item level. And so there are a number of different thresholds. No, I need to go get that. I'll get that probably later on today. So like you start at 500 and then you slowly loot items that have a chance to roll above 500. So like 505, 503, 5010, 510, 515, right? And you can do that all the way up to 600. Now there's an expectation that once people get to 600 looted item level gear, they'll be able to also loot legendaries too. Dev said that's wrong. Well, no, actually, the devs said that's exactly how it works. Cause like I'm taking this off of the Dr. Lupo video, and as far as I know, yeah, devs said exactly that. Yeah, I'm taking this directly from what Greg Henninger sent Dr. Lupo. That was straight from the New World developer team. So yeah, anyway, this is how it works at level 60. And anyway, right now, like my looted item level is like high 520s, low 530s. I think we might have too many people here. It's hard for me to get a tag. It's really bad if I miss that tag too. Taking advantage of crafted weapons or gear, you just need something superior. That depends. Am I gonna have to still tank him? Yeah, looks like I am. Alright. Is this better to equip gear as a higher gear score? No, questing rewards and things like that don't factor into it. So like if you get like you get your infinity crystal or something like that from the quest in Shattered Mountain, that's not going to make you loot 570 plus item level necklaces. So it's purely from items that are dropped inside of expeditions and out in the open world. Now, one question that I have is how do chests factor into that? And I actually don't know. Like I don't really have all the answers at all, but this is just what I know. Is that magician that you guys saw live legit? Well, we thought he was legit, but we found out later on that he actually wasn't. He actually was using real magic, so there was no real skill in the tricks. He was just able to use the use magic itself, and so there was no actual technique really used. It was just pure magic. So I don't know. It depends on how you want to look at that. Come on. I did this a minute ago. Okay, I can get up to here. Oh, I gotta try and do this again. Can you guys try to attack this mob with like a weaker attack so more people get tag credit? Because I feel like a lot of us haven't been getting credit. 533, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm still at 528 on my helmets. My helmets are pretty low. Why are you farming a guy? Because the more that you kill the NPC, the more gear that drops, and the more gear that drops, the higher the item level the gear is that drops. So we're using this to pad our numbers for our looted items. I'd actually like to do the dungeon. If like you guys want to do the dungeon at some point, let me know. We'll just need Vixels or some other healer. That'd be great. Dungeon, whatever. Yeah, for sure. What animal are you trying to hit before moving on from him? There's no real goal because it's just as high as we can go, really. That's about it. Yeah, we just want to loot a lot of items. I think probably in like maybe a half hour or so I'm gonna go start looting chests. Yeah, if you guys want to come and loot chests with me, let me know. I'm probably going to do that Nilo village place, and I'll need like some people for that too. Fat loot and Merkard. What are you getting from there? Got it. And no loot again. Hotfix? There's no way it's hotfix. That bonus. The truth is that like it's better for me to be in front because I pull aggro a lot, and I also will never die. Since player collision is garbage in PvE, do you think they'll actually fix this? Yeah, I think they will. I think that really, like, all they need to do is turn off player collision in expeditions. Like, if they just turn off player collision in expeditions, I think that'll solve, like, 70% of the problems. Body blocking PvE is pretty dumb. Yeah. I don't really think hardly anybody likes it, and I think the people that say they like it probably are like level 33 or something. They probably don't really know a lot about the game. I've seen a lot of the people that hand wave the problems with the game, and I've seen like some of the people they've like, you know, they've posted like their character, and you know, they're like, oh, well, I'm having a really great time, I'm level 32, and you know, I just log on and do whatever I want. It's like, that's great, but I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that the problems aren't there. Had the Bobby hit a bug where you hit a mob, it does nothing? Yeah, I've had that happen. Ignore problems, everything will be fine. Yeah. The WoW viewer solution. Yeah, I'm wearing all heavy armor. Imagine rated collision in this game. Yeah. Like, collision just in general in this game is very problematic. That's fine, dude. Don't worry about it. Collision in wars is bad. Makes it horrible for melee in my experience. I think that collision in PvE, or sorry, in PvP has value, but I don't think that collision in PvE has any value. I think that any of the perceived value from PvE collision can be easily offset by all of the negative effects that it has. So while yes, it is, it does add, like, you could say more strategy, or it does add, you know, there's like a negative effect to having like more people farming the same thing. But these are not factors that an individual can control. And I think that whenever a player is handicapped and fucked over, basically, by somebody who's not themselves, you're just creating a, you're just creating a frustrating situation. Realistic? Yeah, and that's the problem. It shouldn't be realistic. As I said before, like, anytime a game, anytime there's like a power struggle between like realism and gameplay, gameplay should always win. Realism should never win. Nobody cares about realism. We're not playing real life. We're playing a video game. It's a PvP game first. Collision is classic PvP mechanic. Has been since Ultima Online. Uh-oh. Now what? Well, collision was not a collision's not a mechanic in Final Fantasy, and it's not a mechanic in World of Warcraft. And World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy are two of the biggest MMOs in the world. And World of Warcraft is probably the most popular PvP MMO in the world too. Like, you can hate on Arena or whatever you want to say, but Arena is probably way more popular than... There's probably more people that play World of Warcraft Arena than probably people that play Guild Wars 2 in total. So I don't think it's really fair to say that, especially if you use a game like Ultimate Online as like as a measurement, because like if you go back and you play those games nowadays, they're just shit games. They were really good for 1999, absolutely. But the idea that a game should have a ship mechanic from a ship game from 1999 is, in my opinion, not really a very strong argument. Collisions needed more PvP. Yeah, I think collision definitely has a place in PvP. This is the helmet that I want to get at max eye level. I'm getting really close to being like, if I had hit the 22 Constitution, I probably would have used this. But the invigorated doesn't really matter. However, the physical armor is really nice. I think next time I loot it, I'll probably get a equivalent item level. 525. That's pretty good, Vixus. Get around this person. How's your mom? She had a pretty bad day yesterday, to be completely honest. I was very worried, and today seems to be a bit of an improvement. I've talked to the doctors twice today, and I was really stressed out and upset about it yesterday. Like, I had probably like a 2 or 3 hour panic attack, including this morning too. It's been really bad, but like, she was like, basically, that I called the nurse and they were like talking about how she didn't want to wear, like, they want her to wear like a sleeping mask on. It's like supposed to help with like her breathing, and she didn't want to wear the mask, and she was like complaining about it. And then she was like, she called me and I didn't pick up the phone because she wanted me to come to the hospital, but I was so worried that CPAP machine, I'm not sure. Yeah, I was so worried that she was gonna try to like pressure me to sign her out of the hospital, and I didn't really know. It was a really hard decision for me to make, because like, I don't know, it's one of those things, like, I don't know what to do, because like, if I had answered the phone and talked to her, then like maybe the act of like saying no and telling her no would have agitated and made the situation worse than not talking to her. You know what I mean? So it's just such a hard decision. I'm still stressed out about it. But like, my dad called once today and I called twice, and we've just been trying to look into it as much as possible. Convince her to wear it, she'll feel so much better. You feel like you actually get rest? Yeah, I mean, she needs to wear it. But yeah, do exactly what you think is best. Well, the thing is, like, I don't really know what's best, right? Like, I'm just taking risks and taking chances and guessing, the same as I think everybody is whenever they have to make a decision like that. Oh shit, I thought I was gonna fall over. Like, I'm not a doctor, I don't really know anything about medicine, so it's like, it's also like, it's hard for me because she'll do things that are like irrational, like not wearing the mask and everything, and then like she wanted to leave the hospital like first time she went. And like, I mean, for all I know, like, if she had stayed, maybe she wouldn't be there right now. And it's just like,